Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Chris. Thank you for stopping by and checking this out. I've got something new and special for you guys. These are the 1970 uniforms for the Miami Hurricanes. They're going up against the Oregon Ducks in this sneak peek simulation, just doing a first quarter. But the big thing is with these uniforms, go ahead and hit the like button and drop a comment below if you like these uniforms. Miami has not scheduled to play Oregon or with these uniforms. I just thought it'd be a nice look. I thought it'd be a nice way to throw back and take a look at some old uniforms that Miami used to wear. Plus, the way I looked at these uniforms, I really like them. I think they're unique. I think they look really good, and I think that they would work if Adidas and Miami wanted to wear these. I like the helmets, and as far as I know, based on my research, this was the only season from 1970. It was the only season that they wore these helmets and essentially these uniforms. So I thought that would be interesting to take a look at them. And another thing that's interesting, so Miami has only played Oregon one time in the history of the programs. And we had an article over the summer about programs that you'd like to see Miami face, big time programs that you'd like to see them play against. And I think Oregon would be one of those teams that a lot of Miami fans would like to see. So I'm just doing a sneak peek, only one quarter of action with the real 2020 rosters. Oregon's getting ready to set up their season and get going there. They're ranked 12th right now in the AP poll, and Miami's 13. So I thought it'd be a good way to look at both of these teams. There's De'Aaron King right over the middle to Mike Harley. That's good to see. I do think De'Aaron's going to bounce back. I was surprised at how he played against Clemson, but nothing went right for Miami in that game. So we'll see if they can bounce back against Pittsburgh. And I think, so looking back at the Oregon-Miami game from 1958, the only time they've played each other, and Miami won that game 2-0. Okay, so that's an interception. That's tough to see. And that's Justin Flo. You guys remember him during the recruiting process. But 1958, Miami beat Oregon 2-0. Miami goes into the game with a 1-8 record, and they pull off the upset, although Oregon wasn't having a great season either. There's a nice article by Jim Maloney if you guys want to check that out. I'll drop that in the comments on the website if you guys want to check that out. He actually breaks down the game and kind of play by play and essentially what happened in that. And I found it interesting because a 2-0 game is crazy, and Oregon had 6 turnovers, and it was just pretty interesting. So I thought that would be good to share. So here we go. So Miami's defense on the field here. I think they certainly have a challenge ahead with bouncing back. And you guys have been excited about safety Bubba Bolden. And maybe let me know on the comments too. Maybe Bubba deserves a ratings boost. I definitely think he does. But if you guys think he should have like a high rating, or what kind of rating you think he should have in these games, because I want to keep doing them. I want to keep doing the simulations, the full game ones. Just doing something a little bit different this week. There's Micah Pittman there. The nice catch. Oregon has a good collection of guys coming back, a really big season a year ago, replacing their quarterback, and anytime that happens, and obviously Justin Herbert was a really good player, so anytime there's a change at quarterback, you don't quite know exactly what kind of season you're going to have, but certainly Oregon's got plenty of guys, plenty of big-time players on both sides of the ball. And I think it'd be exciting for a lot of fans if this matchup occurred, because I think this game is certainly one that Miami fans would be intrigued by. Nice play by Jonathan Ford. But definitely the defense needs to step up. I think particularly looking at the linebacker play, you want to make sure that they're playing well. I think the secondary has been really good in the terms of what Bubba Bolden's been able to do. I think Bubba's been Miami's best defensive player through the first 4 games. He has 2 ACC Defensive Back of the Week awards already, and he had a huge game also against Florida State. So just kind of keep your eye on 21, and certainly a really good player. There he is right there, right on cue, 21 with the tackle. I do think these uniforms look good, but yeah, let me know what you think. They certainly have, it's a simple look, but the way the lines go, and obviously with the colors being the same, I do like this. Miami has went back to throwback uniforms before. If you guys remember, around this same era, they went with the green uniforms, kind of the copper or bronze. What are we? Okay. It's like, what are we watching here? So he's just Quincy Roche with a nice sack there. So that's on third down. That'll be big for Miami throughout the rest of the season. Make sure you're getting stops on third down. But it was about 2005, I think Miami wore those uniforms and they had the hurricane flag on the helmet. I remember those uniforms, and it wasn't overly impressive. But I do think this combination would be interesting. Or if there's any other uniforms you guys like, drop in the comments. Let me know what maybe you'd like to see. Or even maybe, and I don't know if we'll do it during the season, but maybe off-season stuff, but maybe you want to see the 1970 Hurricane. Maybe you want to see an old team with their old uniforms in a modern game like this. And talk about that 1970 team. Shout out to Chuck Foreman. He was on his way to having a good career at Miami, going on to be a first-round pick. And then on his way to a good career with the Minnesota Vikings. He was on that 1970 team. And they didn't have a good year that year. I think they went 3-8, or something like that. But anyways, here we go. So that's Jalen Knight, number 4. I think he's going to be a big player to watch, because I do expect him to make that move and be the team's primary kick returner based on the things that special teams coordinator Jonathan Patke said this week during interviews. I asked him a lot about the kick return game. A lot has been made at punt returner. Making that move, they're going with Xavier Restrepo there. But I thought the kick return game, if there's a way for them to get more return yards. And they've only had 5 returns at the time. But anyways, he said that Jalen Knighton's next in line. They're also looking at Don Chaney Jr. So maybe look at those two. Maybe that they'll go ahead and overtake Mark Pope for opportunities. But I definitely think I've been a big advocate of Jalen Knighton in the return game as a kick returner. And I think he'd be great at it. I think it'd be a great opportunity for him to get the ball in his hands. And again, you saw it against the Clemson game where just the running game didn't get going. And then there's just not a lot of opportunities for Jalen, whereas that kick returner, it gives him an opportunity once again to get the ball in his hands. The offensive line. I went ahead and also made a move here. A tight end, Will Mallory, with Brevin Jordan being questionable for the Pitt game. So just kind of moved Will Mallory up on the depth chart, give you a look at him. Maybe he'll get some catches here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
And again, this is just a sneak peek. It's just a way to look at both teams. And I wanted to show you guys these uniforms that I came across as an idea. And we'll see what happens. But I do expect, even though Patke said that they're looking at Knighton, and that getting close to an opportunity, it kind of, the sense I have is just that they are going to go ahead and make that move. They just didn't want to say it. That's my guess. That's my prediction. And I think many of you would like to see Knighton back there as well. And there's some other guys that maybe you would like back there. I think Keyshawn Smith is the guy that maybe you look at kick returner in addition to the guys I've already mentioned. So that's a big throw. So there's a nice throw. So third down. It's a big catch by D. Wiggins. Still waiting on D to have that, really all of the receivers, just to have that really productive game. With Mark Pope and Mike Harley, I think all 3 of those guys. I think Jeremiah Payton, certainly off to a slow start with not being in the lineup, and then when he's been in there, just hasn't had too many opportunities to make plays. I think Harley's still one of the guys to watch for. And one of the things that I'll be interested in seeing is if they decide to give Mike a little bit more reps on the outside. Right now, Wiggins and Pope are getting by far the most snaps, with Harley in the slot. But I do wonder if they want to move Mike around a little bit more. So Cameron Harris here, no real running room in this game. They didn't have it against Clemson. I remember asking offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley about the running game, and he was, because no running back at Miami had a carry until the 4th series in the game, midway through the second quarter there, and I asked Rhett about that. And he didn't know that, actually. He admitted he didn't realize it was that and had some run plays called, but just didn't work out. But I don't think there's any question. They've got to get the running game going. And I think one thing, too, with getting the running game going, because not only does it help balance out the offense, but, you know, a little bit of the ball control stuff, you know, helping out your defense a little bit more. Because if you want to go up-tempo, you do want to get the time going off the clock.
Back to throw. King. Now they go screen. It's complete.
But we'll see. I'll be surprised if Miami doesn't respond. I really expect them to. I think D'Eriq King is going to bounce back, even though Pitt does have a good defense.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to
But certainly there are some holes on the team, and they've got to bounce back and respond and get things going on both sides of the ball. Once again, appreciate everybody for stopping by here. I know it's a quick look, a sneak peek, only get 1/4 of action. And shout out to any Oregon fans. I know you guys are probably excited to get your team out there. So that's a nice punt. Look at Lou Headley getting in there. Don't see him too often with a highlight punt, but there it is down at the, it's like the 3-yard line. That's impressive. To Corey Couch in on that. A nice play. So who knows? Maybe Miami will get a safety here like they did when they played Oregon in that matchup in 58. But we'll see here.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they will
Stack in the box. 11 seconds left. Go play action. Oh, big throw. Incomplete pass there. Couch in coverage. A couple back-to-back plays. Productive plays by Couch, so that's good to see. And all three of the cornerbacks, still keep an eye on them as they progress through the season with DJ Ivey, Al Blades Jr., and Couch there. 5 seconds left. This is probably going to be the last play. It'll run up the middle, and it's only fitting for Bubba Bolden to get that tackle. And Verdell's certainly a really good player. So, once again, I appreciate everybody. Drop in the comments. Let me know maybe some other suggestions. Let me know on that rating with Bubba Bolden. Thank everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing. You can check out more coverage of the Miami Hurricanes on InsideTheU.com. And you can hit me up on Twitter at InsideTheU. Thanks again, and take care.